Hello and welcome, people, to Footy Judgment. Of course, we wake up to the news. We wake up to Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool. Of course, at the end of the season, what does it mean for the Premier League? What does it mean for Liverpool? Who's coming to replace him? And why there is a big meltdown at the Liverpool camp? It was kind of unexpected, unpredicted. Nobody saw this coming at the end of the season, especially with the talks of Mo Salah. Of course, Mohamed Salah renewing his contract. This is a rebuild. This is that. A lot of rivals are happy about this news, but I'm not sure. Like, I actually think that, and we're going to talk about it, of course, in details. I'm not sure why there is a meltdown from some pundits that don't support Liverpool. End of an era, Jurgen Klopp versus Pep. I think we'll talk about that as well. But I'm here with Will Stewart. Northside might join, might not join. But we're here to talk about it. Staffy might has an internet problem, but he's gonna come in a second. Well, how are you doing today? And we woke up to this news, and it's just big news. People, before we start, hit that like button. Over 100 people here. Like the damn video, people. Like the video when you walk in. Hit that like button. Get us above 100 likes. So, Will, how did you take the news when I'm like we're talking about it off screen? And how did you how did you feel when it's like, oh, Liverpool? Jurgen Klopp is leaving Liverpool. How did you take the news?
Utter shock. What's he gonna do? Where's he gonna go?
That's what you're worried about. You aren't worried about Liverpool.
No, I mean I'm not a Liverpool fan. So I don't.
What I
I
mean
don't.
is that you aren't like asking why what are Liverpool gonna do? Who's gonna replace him?
I don't think you can replace him. I don't think there's a manager in world football right now that could come in and do what Klopp has done for that club. I don't. There are certain managers that are irreplaceable. Like they may get somebody in who can come in and maybe get, you know, stay in and around top four, but they were up and down, up and down, up and down over the last couple of years. And I think this is going to put them back to where they were before he came in, which was finishing, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Yeah, this is one of the things that I'm. It's not only that Jurgen Klopp is leaving, but and people, let me know your opinions in the chat. Of course, hit that like button. Let me know what you think about it because there are many ways of looking at this. Because he's not only leaving, it's him leaving, his assistants, and also there's a director of football is leaving as well. That's a massive deal for them, to be honest about. Like the sporting director leaves along with the head coach. That means the whole system might be going. And Liverpool Football Club will be left in the hands of FSG, who we think, and I think personally, what was keeping this together was freaking Klopp, the sporting director. FSG was holding Liverpool back, and if it wasn't for Jurgen Klopp and the staff, I think Liverpool wouldn't have been here. It's a big deal. I'm looking from outside. Like, listen, I'm not a supporter of Liverpool. I don't support a Premier League club, but I'm looking at this giant club that got Jurgen Klopp in 2015. And look where they are today. We're talking about an era of Klopp versus Pep, 3 Champions League finals, going for the league 3, 4 times, going for a quad season. We're talking about some of the players at Liverpool in Ballon d'Or again. You know what I mean? Like some of the players at Liverpool, like Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah on the podium, Alisson being one of the best goalkeepers, Virgil van Dijk, and how Jurgen Klopp helped that team improve. I think it's a massive, massive deal because does Salah leave? Does Van Dijk leave? What is going to happen? And also, you signed Sabozlai, you signed Gravenberch, you signed McAllister. What is going to happen? What is going to happen to Darwin Núñez? What is going to happen to the development of this? And did Liverpool build something all the way from down, from below, to be able to support these people? I think these are a lot of questions that Liverpool fans, because it goes beyond. If you're looking from outside, sometimes you're thinking, yeah, Jurgen Klopp is even, as Will alluded to, Jurgen Klopp is leaving. Who's going to replace him as a coach? But I'm looking at a strategy. If you're a Liverpool fan, if you're a City fan, and if you're a Man United fan, everybody is asking about this. And Will can tell you this from a Spurs point of view as well. it's not only about the head coach, it's about the backroom staff. It's about how you treat the youth system. Look at Manchester City, look at Oscar Bob, look at Cole Palmer, look at Phil Foden. Look at Trent Alexander, look at Connor Bradley coming in. I think it's a shock for the whole club, right? It's a shock for the whole club. And I think Liverpool Football Club should talk about it from a different perspective. It's not only about a head coach. It's not only about a head coach for Liverpool. And Will, is this going to affect the whole thing at Liverpool? Is this not only about a coach? It's about a culture, a system, and everything. Guys, hit that like button. We're talking about Liverpool, people. Get me to 200 likes, over 200 people here, right off the bat, people. So hit that like button for me. Will, how did you see this?
Yeah, so for me, I mean, because it's not only Klopp, right? Like I was just looking at Fabrizio Romano's page. That's why I was looking down. It looks like there's a couple guys leaving. The director's leaving. What was his name? George Schmidtke or Schmidt.
Yes.
So, and he's leaving. Looks like at the end of the January transfer window.
This is a massive news, to be honest. Like for me, like I woke up and people keep saying who's gonna replace him and where is he gonna go? Is it gonna be Xabi Alonso replacing him? What is gonna happen? Is it Xabi Alonso coming to us? Well, Xabi Alonso hasn't won the league yet. He looks fantastic, right, on paper, and everything looks absolutely great. But I believe, to be honest, that Liverpool Football Club should listen. Is this okay? Well, is this something that is gonna hurt the Premier League as a brand? Jurgen Klopp leaving.
I think it will. Look, I mean, it's going if okay, this is an if, right? If they can't find a replacement that's able to, at least maintain a decent level for them, then yeah, I mean, we're a weaker league for it if we now don't have the strength of Liverpool, right? And how is this going to affect the rest of their season?
I'm not sure. I actually think it's going to galvanize them. I actually think they're going to go for it, in my opinion. I actually think that they're going to go for it. I actually think this is going to be something that is going to help them. It's going to help them this season. It's not going to help them in the long term, but I think it's going to help them this season. I'm not sure what Liverpool fans. Let me get a couple of super chats. Constantinus is saying it's not so important what people think when you come in. It's much more important what people feel when you leave. 100%, I agree. Jurgen Klopp in 2015 said that 100%. Like, look, he's leaving, and we're going to be joined by a couple of Liverpool fans, of course, here to talk about Jurgen Klopp and what it means for the league and all this stuff. But thank you, Constantine, for the super chat. Guys, hit that like button for us. Almost 300 people right off the bat. So hit that like button, people. Get us to 250 likes. Let me just fix this overlay so we can get Jamie in. Of course, Jamie's here with us. Yes, Jamie. Yes, Jamie. What are you saying,
yes,
Jamie?
Yes, guys. How is everyone?
We're doing fine. We're talking about, of course, we're talking about Liverpool. We're talking about Jurgen Klopp. And what does it mean for the Premier League? And the first question I want to ask you is, how does that, like, you as a Liverpool fan, you think Liverpool will be all right without Jurgen Klopp? Because a lot of people are saying we're not going to be all right.
Yeah, look, look, when you've got a great manager like Jurgen Klopp, and he decides that it's time to call it a day and leave, obviously your first thought is going to be, oh my God, this is the worst feeling ever, yeah? Like, you're not going to get better than Jurgen. Look, how many managers out there are better than Jurgen? Not many. So whoever Liverpool get in is obviously going to be a tiny bit of a downgrade.
Yes.
But I'm upset and angry and all these emotions that are going on at the same time. But my other emotions also is excitement as well about the future.
Excitement.
I'm sorry, my kid's in the background message.
Oh, it's all right.
Excitement about the future because we're going to play, whatever manager comes in, we're going to see a different system, maybe a different style, or different formations, different way of playing that we've played differently for 8 years now. And there's loads of emotions, but Jurgen, look, he's a great at our club. He's our Bill Shankly of this generation. And now what Liverpool need to do is go and find their Bob Paisley. That's what Liverpool need to go and do now. Shankly grew the club from nothing and made it a juggernaut, and then Paisley came along and won all the trophies, and that's what we need. That's what the owners need to do. They need to get the right man in.
Will is saying that he thinks that Liverpool will go back many steps because of not only him leaving, It's the other guys that are behind it, like the other guys that are leaving, and he thinks that.
Sorry, mate. 1 second.
No, it's all right. Like, I believe that actually Liverpool will not go as back as what Will is saying.
I don't think they'll fall like mid-table. I'm saying instead of challenging for the league, they're going to be challenging for top 4.
Instead of challenging for the league. So why do you say that then?
That's where they were kind of before Jurgen Klopp came in, right? And
but Liverpool rebuilt. Like, Liverpool came back to the picture and rebuilt a whole club and a whole.
Sure, but
look at the youth system.
Unless they get a really good manager, what's the motivation then for Mo Salah to stay there instead of going to the Middle East and getting a fat payday? What's the motivation for the players that
There's going to be another coach, Will. Like, there's going to be
another coach
else.
like that, though? I
mean, it might not be like that, but not every. It's just not that. Like, I get what you're saying, Will, but I believe that there is not going to be. They aren't going to be like going from a challenging. They still have world-class players. They signed world-class players. I believe it's not going to be as bad as if they get the right manager and if they get the right appointment. I actually think it might not be as bad as we think.
No. Now, obviously, with Liverpool fans, they want Xabi Alonso. That's the one everyone's talking about right now because of what Alonso's done. You know what Xabi Alonso's done. He's been he's been fantastic at Bayer Leverkusen, but it is a small sample size what we're talking about with Xabi Alonso.
So you aren't on that train. You're like, oh, give me Xabi Alonso.
I don't know. I don't know. As I said, any manager you get is obviously going to be a bit of a downgrade to Jurgen Klopp. But who I think what FSG have got to do. This is the biggest job FSG have ever had since they've been owners of Liverpool Football Club. Because replacing Brendan Rodgers is a pretty easy step, in my opinion. Replacing Jurgen Klopp is going to be really difficult. Yeah. So you need to get someone in who fits the criteria that FSG work under. And when I look at Xabi Alonso, I think what he's done at Bayer Leverkusen, the way he plays.
It's only 20 games. Club. The guy played 20 games.
Yeah, and I just don't know who else there is. Like, I don't want De Zerbi. I don't fancy.
So why is he leaving the club in this place? And that's something you know what? When I woke up this morning and I'm reading the news, and people in the chat, you guys let me know. We have over 300 people here. When I was reading the news, I'm like, why are you abandoning Liverpool? Do you think he's abandoning Liverpool?
I don't know.
Okay, the reason why I'm saying that...
I haven't really thought about it, really.
Okay. The reason why I'm saying that, why is he... You bought a lot of midfielders. You have a lot of youngsters. You are in the middle of a rebuild, right?
Yeah.
Pep is staying one more year, right? Don't you think, like, you're looking at it as a Liverpool fan, why aren't Liverpool saying it? Why are you leaving us? Yeah, why aren't you staying with us until at least we get this rebuild happening? Why is it announcing? Forget the announcement. I will come to the announcement. Why are you leaving us when we're Nunes? We want to get the best out of Nunes. Luis Diaz is coming to the fold. Szoboszlai is young. And I was talking this with Will about this. Why are you leaving us now? Nobody's talking about this, by the way. And I'm not saying, listen, you got to do what's best for you. You got to do what's best for you. But I think it was a surprise because I actually didn't think that before the season he knew about it.
No.
He literally said that. He said that it hit me in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah, it said November, he said, didn't he? He come to the realization that he don't want to be at the club anymore from November when they had meetings and stuff like that.
It's up to him, of course. Like nobody can... Like, he has to take care of his mental health and everything. And I understand what he's saying. But a lot of Liverpool fans are like, oh, yeah, we'll miss you and everything. And that's fantastic. But he's leaving you in the middle of a rebuild, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it all season that, you know, why would Klopp want to leave right now? You know, I said this in the summer, like he's building this, he's getting players in to rebuild this midfield. You've got academy players coming through. You know, Anfield's getting built up. You've got the new training ground. Everything's there for a foundation to really kick on another legacy, you know, to go again. And we wake up this morning and he's decided, nah. No, I'm going to leave. And obviously the conspiracy theories start with a lot of Liverpool fans because they think it's all FSG. and FSG this, FSG that, and he didn't want to work under their tight parameters anymore. I don't think that's the case. I literally think Jurgen just wants to go. He did this at Borussia Dortmund. He said it halfway through the season there. Look, I'm going to leave. I'm done. And
No, that's completely different, by the way. It's not the same situation.
but I know it's but you know what? I'm just saying, like
he was in the relegation. They were in the relegation battle when.
But you know how it came out. He's just out of nowhere, sort of thing. No one was expecting.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
But that's the only thing I'm saying there. But
have they given reasons yet? Like, has there been a reason?
There's a Klopp's doing a press conference at 3 p.m. He's doing a press conference at 3 p.m. UK time. So that I think we're going to get a lot of the information out of it then. But I woke up to the news 2 minutes later. It's not sunk in yet. It's a mad one. I remember now how my dad felt, because my dad told me when he was a kid, when he got told that Bill Shankly was leaving Liverpool out of nowhere in the 70s, early 70s, and he got told Bill Shankly was leaving Liverpool, and no one in like the city of Liverpool and anyone could actually believe it. They thought it was a joke, and it was actually reality. And then obviously we know that Bob Paisley took over and won, everything Fergie won in 9 years. Legacy's mad. Liverpool need that. That's what Liverpool need. They need to make this appointment correct, because Liverpool have got the fundamentals at our football club to go again. There's a great academy there. There's good youth players coming through. There's excellent first teamers at Liverpool Football Club. We've got, the stadium's got to be full capacity of 62,000. You've got a new training ground. Everything's there for make Liverpool go again. So we're an attractive club. But what manager do Liverpool go for? I think Alonso will be the favourite. I think it will be Xavi Alonso personally. They go for, but I'm trying to think of the older guard.
There's not a lot of people. There is not a lot. It's not Mourinho, not Conte. It's going to be only Xabi Alonso or Zidane, I believe.
Yeah.
Well,
and Zidane don't want to manage in England, I don't think.
Yeah. So. Well, I wanted to ask you about the players. How do you think the players? You said that it's going to affect them this season. How do you think that's going to affect them this season?
Well, I mean, unless they've already talked about that, right? Unless the players are already all well aware that it's going to happen. If they just woke up today and they're like, holy cow, our manager's leave, then you don't think that's going to mentally affect them? Of course it would.
And ask the Liverpool people, but I actually think it's will galvanize them more.
Yeah,
I literally believe that this will galvanize them more. It's not going to hurt them. Not this season. But I get where Will is coming from. Guys in the chat, do we think that Liverpool... Okay, you know what? I'm going to change my words. I actually think this is going to affect them. I actually agree with Will. The reason why, a lot of players that joined the club joined because of Jurgen Klopp.
100%.
A lot of people joined Liverpool because of Jurgen Klopp. Don't you guys think that? So I'm with Will here. I am absolutely with Will. To be honest,
I think we'll win the Premier League now. I literally think this will galvanise the players. It all depends how long the players have known. Like the club knew in November that it was leaving. I don't know if there's rumours that the players only just found out. I'm not sure about that. If the players already knew and they're playing the way they are at the moment, then it's not an issue.
I agree.
An issue at all. So I think this could galvanise the team. These players love Jurgen. They'll run for a wall for him. I can expect them to put maximum effort in now to try and win the Premier League for Liverpool. I think it could galvanise them. In the same way it galvanises teams when they get points deductions and things like that. They come together, and I think it'll be all right because we've got too many quality players there. So I personally think we'll win the Premier League from here. This is what's going to happen.
Do you think that same, Mike? Welcome, Mike. That's of course joining us. Of course,
big up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you, Mo and Will. To be honest with you, I watched the Jurgen Klopp interview that Liverpool released. As for reasons, he basically tried to say in a lot of words, it's just an energy thing. And to me, it kind of just feels like he wants to go out strong rather than kind of wither away slowly, if you know what I mean. Kind of when sometimes managers at the back ends of their career, all of a sudden, kind of like, Roy Hodgson at Crystal Palace, you know what I mean? Like that same sort of vibe. Not to compare the two. I think that the players have most likely known since the club has known, knowing Klopp, and given the fact that he just let us know in January of the season, essentially mid-season, that he's letting the fans know. So if he's letting us know, there's no way the players haven't known for a while beforehand. And it would also kind of explain why the depth all of a sudden has just playing the way it has been and why the team looks the way they do for the past month and a half. And if anything, I think it'll motivate everyone to basically say, we're in the Europa League final 16, we're in the Carabao Cup final, we're in the fourth round of the FA Cup, and we're top of the league. We can do this. You know what I mean? We can push. We can get this done for Jurgen. So I think that it'll definitely galvanize the players, and I think that everyone's known for a while. And ultimately, Jurgen's been here since 2015. You know what I mean? So eras have to come to an end eventually, and I have no disdain towards him, and it is what it is. He's done a ton for the club, and we'll just have to move on and move forward, just like with all things of football. Eventually, Pep will leave Man City. You know what I mean? It's just that Jurgen's leaving first, and I'm sure whatever the personal reasons are great enough. Maybe it's like family time. Maybe it's just he doesn't have the passion anymore. But whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me because I hold no negatives. Jurgen can leave whenever he wants, because he's done enough for us. So
I actually think it can go both ways. I think actually you're a Liverpool fan and you're being optimistic. If my legend manager in the league, because you haven't had someone like him for years, probably not in your both lifetimes, Jamie or Mike. As a Liverpool fan, everybody in the chat, you haven't had a manager at Liverpool like Jurgen Klopp.
no,
You
No.
haven't. If I'm a fan of a club and I'm looking at this, I don't want to slag him, but to be honest, I know that it's his right to leave. Everyone has a right to leave, in my opinion, because mental health is very important. But if it was me, I would have announced it at the end of the season. I would keep it quiet. Why? See, you're just defending him for the sake of defending him.
No,
Why now? What is gonna? Okay, can someone explain to me? And people I'm not against him leaving, because at the end, you have to do what's best for you and your family. And we all understand. We all been here, right? But as a Liverpool fan, you're looking at this, and please, I know that everybody loves Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. You guys love him, and everything is great. You're about to play in the cup. You're about to play Chelsea. You're about to play Arsenal. Mohamed Salah is injured, right? Trent is about to come back. Alisson is injured. You are in a very, very tighter race. Everybody's talking about you being underdog, that you are fighting this mighty Manchester City. Well, a lot of people, if you ask majority of the pundits, Jamie, and this is my opinion about it, if that was me, I'll be pissed. Why now? Why today? Why not? If you decide to leave anyway, and between you and the players, right? Why in the media? Do you know what is going to happen? Every single interview with every player, the first question is, how would you feel about Jurgen Klopp leaving? Every single interview. It's not going to be about the football.
Agreed there.
Why not wait till May or something?
Exactly. I think it's a crazy move.
It is. You got a point there, because now, if Liverpool drop points in games, everything's now going to be overlooked.
About this?
Everyone's going to be going, right, why Liverpool, since he said this, Liverpool dropping points and all that, and everyone's going to scrutinise it even more now. So you have got a point there. It is a weird look. I don't think there's a Liverpool fan alive that thought, we'll go wake up on like Friday morning and Klopp's going to decide that he wants to leave in January at the end of the season. The time is weird. Like Will just said, maybe leave it till April, May, at the end of the season sort of time. So you give the fans a month to get used to it, and then we know what's happening. Now we've got to sit there for 4 months knowing that Jurgen's going to leave, and we're going to be critical, and not Liverpool fans, but rival fans and media, they're going to be more critical on Liverpool games now. If Liverpool drop points, they're going to be looking at it and think, the player's giving up, Jurgen's leaving, what's happening? We've got contracts that need signing. Trent, Virgil, Salah, the important players. Are they going to stay now? There's a lot of answers.
Well, so what? Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Well,
no, go on,
Mike.
I was just going to say to kind of play devil's advocate here and argue the counterpoint to that. right? So I understand everything that you're saying, and I think that all of these are warranted, right? But first and foremost, the first question we have to ask, which we don't know the answer to, is this Jurgen's decision to make the announcement? Because we know that the club has known since November, or is this the club's decision to tell Jurgen to announce it now? Why? Because
Doesn't matter.
let's
I'm
just
not blaming Klopp, bro.
no no
This
no
is
no
a
no no
mutual
no no no
decision.
no
Do you think I'm
no
blaming Jurgen? Do you think Jurgen Klopp woke
Mo
up and said,
Mo
"I'm making the decision"?
Mo.
Okay, go ahead.
Allow me to land. The reason why they would make this public information is because if they went to go start contacting other clubs and other managers, that would get leaked, and then all of a sudden it would be out of their control, and then they would have to go out and announce it. So basically, you're getting ahead of yourself to go out and talk to other managers. Second, Jurgen Klopp has also complained about the atmosphere. I have complained about the atmosphere. This would be a way to galvanize the fans. Everyone who's going to every Liverpool game now was basically going to say, this might be my last time I ever see Jurgen Klopp in Anfield. I need to act differently. I need to create a new environment. I think that it's not just about the players, it's about the club as whole, it's about the business, right? It would make sense to do it in April or May, but there are many problems and there are many things that can get in the way, and it's hard to keep a secret from November to May, especially a secret this big, and especially when we're going to be contacting people like Xabi Alonso and Zinedine Zidane. A leak will eventually come, and if you get ahead of it, you're already ahead of the storm. And I think that, listen, the players have known, and whoever came in to sign, they've probably known since November.
I like
You know what I mean?
this approach that they
So
wanted to get ahead of it. They didn't want it to be leaked, because if it was leaked,
then
would have been
it would be a
would
shitstorm.
have been way worse.
Then it would have been
Nothing-
an absolute shitstorm. And Jurgen came out with a
nothing gets
30-minute
leaked out of that
interview.
club.
Yes, but I mean, it's a 24-minute video. You know what I mean? It's a very intimate video. Jurgen looks, pretty emotional, right? Like, so this was very, very well thought out, very well done. It was done by the club. It was done with Jurgen, and there are many, many, many reasons why you need to do something like this early. Because now everyone in the football world knows that Jurgen Klopp is leaving, right? It isn't a secret. So now Xabi Alonso knows. Now Zinedine Zidane knows. Now whoever this other possible replacement that I don't even want to have a conversation about right now, because we have to finish this season. I'm not thinking about who's replacing Klopp. The whole world knows, right? So we've put it on their radar. We can get ahead of everything. And I really do think that the number one thing for me that's coming to my mind is the atmosphere. This will galvanize the atmosphere, and the atmosphere has been so dead.
It will be the other way around. I don't know
No,
why.
no.
Yeah,
And
it could be like
I actually think-
no. Listen. If anyone
I'm
is
not
against,
saying that. I'm
if
not
anyone
saying
gets
that to
mad,
spite anybody.
you're just an asshole. Like Jurgen Klopp has done nothing wrong. He's 9 years. He's a legend.
Hold on. Nobody's
it-
lagging. Why are you defending? Nobody said anything about Jurgen Klopp.
I'm just basically saying, if you get angry, if any Liverpool fan out there is
A
mad
lot
at
of
Jurgen
Liverpool
right
fans
now,
will be angry.
no, then you're an asshole, and I do not respect your opinion, because he's done so
Really?
much for this club. Yes, he's been 9 years. 9 years. You know how long 9 years is? Have you ever? How many people have held a single job for 9 years without changing positions? That's insane. Okay, and you're talking
But
about
it's his right to leave. Yes, it's his right to leave. But
100%. But come on, we can have no disdain for Jurgen Klopp. We cannot be angry at him. It's a little bit
you
ridiculous.
cannot force Jurgen Klopp to stay, right? You can't force someone to stay at their job. If they have to leave, they have to leave, right? But let me ask you guys something. And I'm going to say this with all due respect. I'm going to do the couple of super chats, people. We almost have 600 people here, so hit that like button, right? Husonsu is saying the sporting director was here only as an interim. We really don't care. He came last summer and was 1 year deal only. Yeah. Okay, good to know. Thank you so much for the information. Thank you so much. I think the back staff, the coaching staff, I think if these people leave, it will shock the club. But thank you so much, guys, for the people that supporting the channel. I'm gonna actually answer Mike and say, as a CFC fan, as a Chelsea fan, it's the worst time possible. The Liverpool players will do everything to win the Carabao for Klopp. That I agree with. After this season, it's a different story, though. But I actually presented the point about every single question will be about that. If they get one draw, it will be because of Liverpool, because of Jurgen Klopp leaving. Any bad result, it will be because Jurgen Klopp is leaving.
Agreed.
Now, and nobody will hear anything else. Felipe here, Felipe. Thank you, Philip, for him. I actually think Liverpool will be fine. To be honest, it depends. It depends who they hired, and also we'll talk about the players in a second. We'll talk
Don't forget
about
Pep Lenders. Don't
Yeah.
don't forget about Pep
Yeah.
Linders getting that old promotion. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's leaving as well.
He's
Oh,
leaving.
really?
He's
Yeah,
leaving.
Klopp's leaving. All his back staff are leaving, and the sporting director's leaving.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're all
interesting.
Feels like funeral. Every Liverpool supporter is sad. And I'm gonna present a question. I'm gonna present a question to everyone. To Will, I'm gonna start with Will, who's outside, looking from outside. Tombaline is saying Shanky, Dalglish left. Suddenly we move forward. Yeah, a lot of Liverpool fans say the club will never. Okay, one of the things about big clubs is that they don't stand on one coach or one player or anybody. The club will always move. Tyler Jones, W is in the chat for Tyler Jones. People always supporting the channel with a big donation for the channel. Thank you, Tyler, for this. Mujenda at it again. So many staff have left last few seasons. Downsizing before a sale makes sense to me. Oh, Jamie, do you want to respond to that? I'm not sure.
They're not selling. They're just Liverpool are. They're revamping their backroom staff. It's just that's all it is. And now that there was a lot of part-time appointments last season, and it all makes sense. You know, sporting director was a part-time appointment. You know, and now I'm reading articles at the moment that Liverpool are looking for a new sporting director before they get a new manager in. They want the sporting director in first. The new manager will come with all his own staff because the staff have been sacked. Not sacked. The staff are leaving as well. So all Klopp's coaches are going as well. Pep Linders wants to manage elsewhere. He wants his own journey, doing other things. It's an interesting time. And another interesting thing about all this is, I was just thinking about this while you're talking there, Mo, and I'm thinking.
Can I ask a question that might piss off a lot of people? But go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say, what if Liverpool spend more money when Klopp ain't there?
I don't know, but I have another question.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I have another question for Will. Why do you think Liverpool fans, when Mohamed Salah was going to Saudi or was linked to Saudi in the last summer, people said he shouldn't leave. He's under contract. We don't want him to leave. How can he leave our club? Blah, blah, blah. But Jurgen Klopp is leaving now in the middle of a rebuild, right? Announcing in the middle of the season. Yes, mutual decision. And people are saying, you've done so much for our club. Why? For the coaches, it's not the same. Yes, he's tired, mentally wants a break, mentally wants to leave the club. And I'm genuinely asking this question. I really want to. I just thought about it when Mike was talking about he's a legend. He's done so much for our club. Why people have different energy for coaches than players? A player spends every single minute training. They do everything for the club, and then when they leave, sometimes a lot of people which is Salah is a big thing. You remember Salah last season? You were like, why does he leave? He's under contract. No, stay at our club. And I was talking to Mike at that time. Well, why do you think that happens? Is there an answer?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like, I think maybe because the manager's a little bit more personable, right? Like you see him in press conferences, right? He's kind of the leader of the ship. You identify with the manager, I think maybe a little bit closer. It's a lot of times too why when things are going poorly, the manager's the first one to be on the chopping block, right? It's a double-edged sword, right? So when a lot of times the reason why teams are unsuccessful is really because down to the players, not the manager. I mean, as a Tottenham fan, I've been used to it. Like I understand how these guys feel. When I woke up that morning and realized that Pochettino had been sacked, we were shocked, right? Yeah, there was a segment of the fan base that was Poch out. Didn't Tom Little say last season, I love you, mate, but you got to go. It's time to go, right? Like, yeah. I mean,
old Connor Bradley, baby.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm sure there's some clap out guys too, right? That want to see his backside as well. So, but I mean, for the average Liverpool fan who just loved Jurgen Klopp as a personality, but look, I get how they feel, man. Like I absolutely love Pochettino. I went as Pochettino for Halloween several times, and when he got sacked, it was like a shock to the system. Like you didn't know what to do for a while. And then the Jose Mourinho thing, and look, it's a turbulence. If you don't get this next one right, there's going to be a period of multiple managers in and out with a drop in form. It's just the way that. Look at Manchester United when Ferguson left. Look at Arsenal when Wenger left. Right, Tottenham when Pochettino left. You're going to have that period. It's good. Look, It's gonna happen. Like if you don't get this next appointment dead on,
My problem with this, Will, and I'm gonna throw, yeah, if they don't get it, they're on. Do you know what the main reason is it? Because this squad isn't ready. This is what I don't get, and this is what people. If I'm a Liverpool, to be honest with you guys, and I'm not saying this to gaslight anybody. It's just me thinking about this, right? If I'm a Liverpool supporter, I'll be upset. The reason why I'll be upset, because every time we talk to you guys tell us this year is a rebuild, new midfield, the way of playing is new. Nunes now is coming to the fold. Luis Diaz come back from injury. Jota, it's a new way of playing. And that's reality, though. This is a year of rebuild. Do you think a new manager will come in and be able to work with the same players?
Yeah.
for me, I don't. No, I don't. I don't. Each manager just want to build his own squad, his own guys that play his football, right? Not the other guys. That's what I'm saying. Like I just don't see how this doesn't maybe not this season because he's staying till the end of the season, but next season I don't see how this doesn't negatively impact Liverpool in the short term.
Does anybody see it this way?
I don't know, because Liverpool have got good
Jimmy's
players at the
shocked,
club.
bro. Jimmy's shocked.
Liverpool have got. I don't look. I am shocked. Liverpool got good players at the football club, so if they get the appointment right, Liverpool can carry on. It's all about getting the appointment right. And as everyone said, the managers out there for elite football clubs is very small, and they've just got to get this manager right. Look, it's going to be a downgrade whoever we get apart. If you've got the only two upgrades are probably Ancelotti and Pep, and that is literally it. So anyone else
Ancelotti isn't an upgrade on Jurgen Klopp.
Well, no, if I don't say it, people come for me. So,
but that's
neither of them are available anyway. So it's like
yes,
but then the only two really.
Ancelotti signed a new contract, so
I just don't see. So if we get to downgrade on Klopp, but the players there, this is. I'm sort of excited at the same time. I actually, more I think about it, I'm a bit peed off. The more I'm thinking about it now, like the timing's just mad. It's out of nowhere, and because the timing's mad and out of nowhere, the problem with our fan base is they're all conspiracy theorists.
Big Ange.
Everyone is going to blame FSG. Everyone's going to say FSG didn't give them enough money
straight away, and they're going to blame the owners and said like it's all the owners' fault, and you know he's sick and tired of working for. I mean, he's worked for these owners for 8 years. I can't see it's the owners' fault, but this is what's going to happen, and I don't. You got to get the right man. This is all about the club getting the right sporting director in, the right staff behind the scenes in, and the right manager in, because the foundations is there, the players are there, the academy's there. If they can get them things right behind the scenes and the right manager, then the club will carry on. But this is the biggest test in FSG's history as Liverpool owners. There's no doubt about it.
Like people, I want to do a couple of these super chats. Constantine is saying, I need a farewell like Dortmund after winning the Premier League. Listen, if he wins the Premier League, okay, here is what is going to happen, to be honest with you. And this is my take on this. If you win the Premier League, right, you'll be all right, no matter who comes in. No matter who comes in, you'll be all right. If you don't win the Premier League, this is going to be not... this is not going to be great. This is how I think about it. Because if you don't win the Premier League, people are going to say you left us. We didn't win the Premier League. This is not looking great. I think you have to win the Premier League now. For him, for the players, for the young players, for the new players. Because people forget that Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, Nunes are young players. They aren't old players. They are young players. In my opinion, you have to win the Premier League. Queen Nadra saying maybe they're behind the scenes problem. My transfers, maybe FSG is the issue, just like the Glazers with Man United. I don't think so. I actually don't think so. I think he's just tired. And it will bring me... There's a couple of questions I will ask Mike here. But Queen Nadra, I don't think so. Because they just gave him a lot of players in the summer. They signed him Indo. They signed him 4 players, if I'm not mistaken. 4 players. So I don't think there are problems. It's probably his decision, people. Can we get the likes up? We're 600 people here. Get the likes up at least to 300, guys. 300 likes is the bare minimum. Come on. Like button is underneath your live chat. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Daily content here on Footy Judge Mo, guys. XY is saying Klopp leaves Liverpool is better than Wenger and Fergie. No, I don't think so. I actually don't think so. I think it's equal. I absolutely think it's equal. But yes, XY. Thank you so much. But I don't think so. I don't know why you're saying that. Does anybody think that Jurgen Klopp is
What's
leaving?
he saying?
Jurgen Klopp
He's-
is Liverpool.
He's saying the team is in better condition than when Wenger and Fergie left. So he's basically saying that this Liverpool
yeah.
team
So I am.
Oh
is
yeah, the
better.
team's in miles.
Oh yeah,
better
yeah. I read
condition.
it wrong.
Yeah.
Sorry, XY. I actually read it wrong. So yeah. He's leaving the team in way better condition than Arsene Wenger. 100%, you are right.
100%.
Apologies.
Fergie pulled a miracle out winning the Premier League.
Yeah, apologies for misreading the super chat. So this is the feeling should be gratitude, not anger. Do you guys remember in the summer when I said Liverpool fans are ungrateful because when Mohamed Salah got the big offer, people said why we should stay. He should stay. Why?
Mo,
Explain, Mike.
So this is where I'm going to disagree with you.
Yes, explain.
For the simple reason of a manager does not have transfer value, right? And so what we don't know is if the club simply did not believe that the value that was being offered was reflective of Mo's value, right? We don't know we do not know what the negotiations were. We do not we can't see the contract, we can't see the fine print, right? But Jurgen Klopp can't be transferred for any amount of money. Like that's not the way that managers work. Mo has value because Mo is an asset. Therefore, if your offer does not match the value of that asset, we cannot sell that asset. And it's really that simple. I understand your point. I think it's a good emotional argument. I think it makes a lot of sense. I think that it is kind of like the same scenario, but ultimately we can't ignore the fact that Mo is an asset and Jurgen Klopp is a manager, right? So Jurgen is an employee and Mo is an asset of the employee, right? So it's really just that simple.
Very good. To be honest, very good explanation. He's just under contract until 20. Very good explanation. I see what you're saying, to be honest. Very easy explanation, to be honest. Queen Nadra saying positive is Klopp said he won't manage any English team. But how would you feel? Thank you, Queen Nadra. Yeah, he's not going to manage any English team. Why would he manage another English team? Why would he leave Liverpool to manage another English team?
And who would he manage? Come on, like really? Chelsea? Yeah, Jurgen Klopp at Chelsea.
Anyway, I think the only job he takes is the German national job, and that's it.
No.
Yeah. Well, I don't even think
I was going to ask for the next question, people.
I don't even think he's going to.
Maybe.
Okay. Honesty. Hortensia saying Hansi Flick is available. Well, I'm at the Hansi Flick. He's not. I don't like Hansi Flick at all. Guys,
about this right now.
If Jurgen Klopp leaves Liverpool and join Bayern right away, how would you feel?
A little bit angry.
That'd pee me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. That would pee me off. If he decided to leave, he said he's going to leave Liverpool in January, and then in the summer he joins Bayern Munich. That would pee me off.
I think everyone's getting so far ahead of themselves in terms of like everything that's going through their head.
People do that. See, they made people do that.
The important thing right now is to just focus on this season. Worry about everything, as the season progresses and we get closer and closer to the end. I don't think. Listen, I watched the interview. I don't think Jurgen Klopp is managing next season. Now, for the rest of his life, I can't say. But to me, it just looks like exhaustion. And generally, when that happens, you need like a year or two of not working. Especially when you're a person in his position, you need to take some time on the sideline to kind of like really basically ask yourself, am I ready to go for another go? Now, I would probably say that the most likely place would be the Bundesliga or the Germany national team. But to me, it feels like, it feels very personal. It feels like maybe he hasn't been spending enough time with his family. I don't know. I'm just making assumptions here, but just based off of his body language and what he said. And so if you're leaving because of exhaustion, it would make no sense for him to go to another club. And Jurgen Klopp's not a liar. He's always been honest with us. And he's coming out and he's saying this early, which means that he's trying to be extra honest, which would then not make any sense for him to go anywhere immediately. Now, if he goes to Bayern 2 years from now, it is what it is.
No, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going anywhere just based off of what he said.
I don't know about you, Mike, but there's a list of managers I don't want.
Yes, there are, but the thing is, I don't even want to think about that. Like when you were bringing
Now,
up Xabi
before we
Alonso
speak about
and
that,
and
I
and
wanted to speak
Zidane,
about a couple of one more thing.
yeah.
What do you think, guys, is going to happen to Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk at the end of the season, the older players?
I think Virgil and Trent signed new deals in a
Yeah.
way, and I think Mo either signs a 1-year extension to what he's got already. It gives him another 2 years, or he just leaves in the summer. I literally think Virgil and Trent sign. I think Trent's an obvious one personally to sign, and I think. Yeah, I think Virgil will sign as well. Salah's the one I'm not sure about, to be fair. I'm not sure. And I wouldn't hold it against Salah if he wants to leave. If he wants to leave, he wants to leave. I don't get why us as a fan base is like, oh, we can't leave, he can't leave. Right. If he leaves, we're finished and all that. Look, we're showing at the moment that Liverpool can play quite well without Mo Salah. So if the man wants to leave at the end of the year, he can leave. He served his time at Liverpool. Liverpool have made him a world star. He's also contributed to Liverpool in a massive degrees. He's our 5th all-time goal scorer. He'll go down as a Liverpool legend. If he wants to leave in the summer, let him go. It's not the end of the world. Move on.
I don't think he's going to leave, and the reason why is because if he was going to leave for the massive money, it was going to be to Saudi. But players are now leaving Saudi, and that league is dying. So you're going to tell me that
so you literally deprived Mohamed Salah to secure his future last summer. Liverpool deprived, and I'm not going to go into this, but that's what I said last summer. People said the contact will always be there. It might not.
Listen,
that's for a different day. I'm Egyptian. I wanted the best for my guy, the Egyptian guy. Of course, yes, I wanted to see him because I'm not gonna watch the Saudi league, right? I'm not. But anyway, this is for another day. If Mohamed Salah doesn't get the big contract, I'm gonna blame every Liverpool fan.
Which is fine. And listen, listen. If
the guy takes care of villages in Egypt, a lot of people depend on
yes. Listen, if he wants to go, like I'm with Jamie. If he wants to go, that's fine. And ultimately, if when we bring in a new manager, we're gonna have to invest, right? And we're gonna have to build a new system. And if Mo wants to leave, I'm sure we will go out. I don't think that we're going to be playing as our right wing and our left wing being our strikers. We're going to be in a new system. It's not going to be the Klopp system. And there are plenty of capable wingers out there who can play in a different system. There aren't other wingers out there who can be a right wing striker, but there are plenty of creative wingers. If we decide to change our style of play, there are many amazing prospects. There are many options that we can go out and fill that role and simply change our system, right? Because we have the players, we have young players, we have a lot of strength. And if Mo leaves and we get a new manager and we're playing a different way, I don't think it's the end of the world. If Mo leaves, if it would be different if Klopp were staying and then Mo left and we tried to play the same way, then I would have a big problem. But if the system changes, it is what it is. And again, Mo is another player that if he decides to leave, I won't have major disdain. Yes, I'm upset about Jurgen. Yes, I'm upset about all of this. But at the same time, you have to be realistic and you have to be pragmatic and you have to understand that this is a business and you have to just pack your feelings away and move on. The 5 minutes of sadness, get up and move because that's the way the world works. And the season ain't stopping. And we got 4 trophies that we're contending for. And I'm going to save my tears for June. You know what I mean? I'm going to sit in my room alone in the dark in June and I'll cry. But until then, got to remain strong.
The future could be bright though. The future could be right. I know a lot of Liverpool fans. And Mike,
I think the way you said it, sorry, Jim. I think the way you said it is like, when you stand in front of him and say, it will be all right. The future, the way you said that.
Worry about it later. Yeah. Worry about it later.
But the future could be bright, Like I know a lot of Liverpool fans, Mike as well, has said it before about the systems, formation changes, Klopp stubborn in his approach to stuff. It could be a thing where we get this change now. Mo leaving under Jurgen Klopp might have been more difficult than Mo leaving under a new manager because he comes in fresh without that problem and he can go and get the winger that he wants to play a different way. Look, it's heartbreaking for all Liverpool fans right now, and there's anger and upset as well because of the way it's come out. But I look at it as well. We can't sit here going, oh, it's over. We're never going to do anything again. Oh, F the owners, all this. Why be like that? Be positive, man. Look forward to go, look, we've got great players. We've got a great academy, training ground, stadium. There's a lot of positives. There's good, fresh, young managers out there with new tactics, new way of playing, taking football to a new, different era. Let's get on board. It could be exciting times. It could be exciting times. Jurgen's, yeah, of course, he'll go down as one of Liverpool's greatest. But Shankly left, Paisley left, Dalglish left.
Everyone leaves.
Everyone leaves, and you move forward.
Zinedine Zidane left after one. Zinedine Zidane won 3 straight Champions Leagues and then left. The man literally conquered football and decided to say, you know what? I'm going to go chill on a beach with a pina colada. So, ultimately, at the end of the day, big clubs can make these things happen. I think that the transition, we have to make the right decision. But yes, there are plenty of positives, right? Because with every dawn, there is a new day, right? It's going to get dark, but the sun is going to rise, and hopefully it's just dark for like 30 seconds, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're back into it. And I think that there are a few options that we can have that we can go after, and Liverpool is a very lucrative position. One of those options being a former player and a club legend, right? And not to mention the fact that all of the other opportunities that people were saying that he would go to are being taken. Ancelotti just signed a new fat deal. Everyone was saying Xabi Alonso to Real Madrid. That's not going to happen. So, yes, there is plenty of room to be positive and optimistic for the time being. If you're upset, I get it. But at the same time, we got one final, and we've got 4 trophies to compete for. We're on top of the league by 5 points, even though City have a game in hand. There's a lot of business to be done, and we'll worry about the manager and everything at the end of the season. I think it's just keep everything focused on now. Let the rivals chat away. Oh, Jurgen's leaving. Someone just sent me.
It's not gonna be the rivals. I don't know
It's
why.
No.
It's gonna be the rivals, bro. The rivals.
Vader just texted me. He literally said, Eric Ten Hag said, all eras come to an end. Haha, this is the greatest day of my life. Like, literally, people are already saying it. Staffy's saying, oh, back to being irrelevant scum. I'm like, dude, I'm on top of the league right now. You're just like you just saw. I just got a paper cut, and you're jumping on me like you hit me with a bullet. You know what I mean? It's a little bit ridiculous.
It is a little bit ridiculous.
It's just look, Liverpool fans at the moment on Twitter, they're the same as well. And there's a lot of Liverpool fans that are Klopp FC instead of Liverpool FC. There's a lot. Like they think the world's ending. It's like some of them have just been told that Armageddon's here. Go and get your family and go somewhere in a bunker and be safe and try and
it's the rapture.
Survive. That isn't why some are going. It's madness. It's just look, he's leaving. He's been a great manager. 8 years at this football club in this day and age is a long time.
This is what I wanted to ask about.
He's done amazing things. Life moves on. We are not Klopp FC. We're not FSG FC. We're Liverpool Down Football Club, and the world moves on, and we will move on. People need to get a grip and grow up.
Listen, I wanted to ask you something. So if Liverpool don't win the Premier League, let me do the super chats first. People, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. XY saying, Klopp say he will not manage any team next year. Thank you so much, XY, for this. Absolutely brilliant. Supporting the channel. Everybody supporting the channel. I'm going to shout out at the end, guys. You guys are supporting us big time, to be honest. Big time today on this sad day for Liverpool, or not sad day because Mike isn't that sad.
It is a sad
honesty.
Day. It's a sad day. It
honesty
is a sad
Orticia, day. Yeah, Honesty Orticia saying Klopp said it when he signed a new contract. He wants to leave Liverpool in a healthy place and in a healthy place. And he told FSG since November, so they must have someone in mind. I'm sure there are negotiations going, of course. I'm sure there are negotiations going, 100% on. I don't think he will leave Liverpool. Like, I think they have a plan. I think they will have a plan, to be honest. Queen Nadra is saying, just like how we gonna miss Messi and Ronaldo, these great managers will be missed too. Now Klopp in 2 years, maybe Pep and Ancelotti will follow. Pep isn't resigning anytime soon. Like, no, Pep is still young. He isn't. Pep, if he leaves, and I don't believe Pep will leave. Actually, Man City, there is no club financially at the moment can back Pep like Manchester City. I don't think he's gonna leave. And I think, actually, to be honest with you, I think this is Pep's era, in my opinion. I think he's gonna be remembered as Pep's era. Samuel L. Xabi Alonso, Nagelsmann. Okay, so here's my Nagelsmann, Hansi Flick are absolutely not good. I don't know why people think that these two are good just because they're German.
This is what I'm talking about. Like
They're
these
shy.
conversations, buddy. Come on, Samuel. Like, worry about this in the summer. Worry about this towards the end of the season. Worry about this later. Like worry about it later. Like Jamie said, this is a business, right? Like these players, these managers, these are assets, right? You have to view sports as stocks. You know what I mean? It's really that simple. Like sometimes you just have to take the emotion out of it, and you have to understand that everything goes on and that things must work. And we will address the situation when we can. And right now, the club is probably already addressing it. It's just that we need to focus on the now. We need to focus on the games. We need to focus on the team, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. You know, like in a time of crisis, you do one step at a time. And so changing managers is sort of a crisis. So one step at a time, one brick at a time. But no, Nagelsmann, Hansi Flick, absolutely not. And then I saw someone say Gerrard. No, I saw what he did with Aston Villa. Absolutely ridiculous.
Crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, 100% no, guys. Hit that like button for us. And I wanted to ask a question. We discuss this every day. People in the chat, if you don't win the league this year, will this be remembered as Klopp versus Pep era? Or it's only going to be Pep era?
Oh, it's a Pep era, yeah. Why you can't diminish like what Pep's done at Man City. You just can't. You just can't. You know, unless the charges come in and it will get taken away from him.
There's 115 arguments against that.
Apart from that, you can't underestimate what Pep has done at Manchester City. You can't. And Klopp has taken it to Pep, but at the end of the day, we just won one Premier League trophy to what Pep's run English football. So yeah, it's the Pep era. Klopp was part of it, but no.
It is, but you know what? Whatever. You know what I mean? Like I focus on Liverpool, and he brought us a Premier League. He brought us a champion. He won us one of everything.
It was great times.
One of everything. Could it have been more? Did we lose out on 1 point multiple times? Yeah. Did we lose in 2 Champions League finals? Yeah, we did. We happened to face, the greatest goalkeeper performance of all time in a Champions League final. And, Sergio Ramos took out our best player in another without getting a red card. It is what it is, right? But these things are in the past, right? And in sports, you have to move on. Like you have to have a very short memory. It's just boom, on to the next. You know what I mean? And so allow the news to sulk. It is what it is. There's still half a season to go, and we'll worry about it when we get there. But no, Jurgen, for me, this is the Jurgen Klopp era of Liverpool. And in the broader sense, you can't make any argument that this wasn't the Pep Guardiola era of football, because it is. Like Manchester City have been the best team in the world. So there's no arguing against that, no matter what.
For me, if he wins it this year, Jurgen Klopp, I think it will be a discussion. 5 league titles, versus 2. I think it's a big discussion at that point. But to be honest with you, if he doesn't win it, and now to be honest with you, I want Liverpool to win the league.
So do I.
To be honest, being a neutral from outside, looking at this team, looking at how this guy built a team, and how, of course, for him to end his career with the Mohamed Salahs and Van Dijks and Allisons with winning the title, I think it will mean a lot to him, to be honest. That's how I'm looking from outside. I feel sympathy for him. Actually, I was watching the interview. He looked very tired, exhausted,
low energy.
I actually think that maybe it's the right time, even though he's not that old. But I think maybe fighting with FSG every day when you don't have the Emiratis behind you is much tougher job, right? Like how he's backed, it's completely different, to be honest, managing Liverpool Football Club than actually managing Manchester City. It's much easier to manage Manchester City because I think they have a better system, they have a better club behind, they have a better supporting cast. I think so. I wanted to ask you guys, do you guys believe that the way these players panned out, the majority, is down to him, his work?
Yeah,
100%.
Look what he did to Jordan Henderson, for goodness sake.
Sadio Mane or Mo.
Jordan Henderson had no right being that good for the years he was good under Jurgen Klopp. He had no right. He transforms players, and because he's a world-class manager, and that's what they do. But look what he did with Salah and Mane and Bobby Firmino and the system he set up. It's just all the system at Liverpool. What Jurgen does is a world-class system. It takes a special player to work in that system, like Pep systems. He has, you have to get special players to work in them systems, and Klopp is a master at it. And look, he's a quality coach. He's elite. Wherever he goes, whoever gets him is going to get a special man, a special manager. But Liverpool, we just got to move on. We go love these last few months. People will go reminisce, tell stories, look back at things, hope we can win everything before the end of May, and see him off on a highest end. But as I keep saying, the club is not in a bad way. The club isn't in a bad way. There's good players there, good training facilities, good youth, stadium rebuilt, hardly any debt on the football club. He's probably leaving. If he was going to leave Liverpool, he's probably leaving at the right time, to be fair.
No, 100%.
What?
100%. Yeah.
Oh my God! What?
No.
Well, he could leave Liverpool in the shit, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not leaving Liverpool in the shit, but he's in Liverpool at the right time.
Because
they're in the middle of a rebuild, people.
Well, hold on. You have to first kind of make the argument. There is no right time to leave Liverpool, right? For Jurgen Klopp. You know what I mean? And like I tried to say at the beginning, to me, it just feels like, like it goes back to the old Batman quote. Like you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And ultimately, I feel that Jurgen wants to leave from a position of strength rather than weakness. I don't think he wants to wither out. I think maybe last year probably had a major impact on this. If that season went better, I think that the energy would be completely different, but it didn't. And it probably took a hell of a lot out of him, especially after the whole quad charge the season before and coming up short and only winning the domestic double in terms of cups. So there's a lot of factors in play here, but like ultimately there are a million different worse options that he could have left us in. And if we win the Premier League, then he leaves us on the biggest possible high. And you'll see, you'll see the biggest parade in the history of sports. You'll see, 3 million, you'll see 3 fucking million people in the middle of Liverpool with red flares. And it'll be, the greatest spectacle on earth. But ultimately there is no good time for him to leave. And if anything, like I know that some people are making the argument, but I would rather know sooner than later as a fan, just personally. And so I don't have the biggest problem with him announcing this now.
I don't know. For me, I'm like thinking that this isn't. I still think this is not the right time to leave. To be honest, not the right time. In the middle, like the squad isn't finalized yet. Even if you win the league, you still have some pieces left, and you still have. But to be honest, life is there, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that are saying that he's going to go to Barcelona, actually.
No. Klopp, I don't think Klopp likes the way football's going, personally. He said this many times.
We're over-analyzing things now.
I think he just needs a break. He just needs a break. He just needs a break.
And that's why he wants to have a break. He wants to have a year off because of all the stress. So let him have the year off, man. Let him have a year off. And then whatever he wants to do after that, go for it. The only thing I would be peed off is if he doesn't have a year break and he just goes straight to Bayern Munich. That would be, hang on.
I will be furious at that, but again, that's a bridge we'll have to cross when we get there. You know what I mean? Like the problem is that we're gonna have a million fans going in 800 directions in their minds, and it's like, hey, buddy, we're still right here, and you can't be dreaming about where you're gonna possibly go. You have to take the next step, and so don't get lost in your thoughts, one step at a time. Like that's kind of the biggest thing, and I guess that would be the biggest worry. And so I understand, your skepticism of why he decided to announce this now.
Bro,
but ultimately,
there is no, bro.
No, there is no right time.
The right time was at the end of the season. I see your argument. That it could have been leaked, but this is coulda, shoulda. It might have been leaked. The facts are, the news are out there now. I'm telling you. Mohamed Salah comes back from injury. First game, how do you feel about Jurgen? It's not going to be how do you feel. It's the cup final in the press conference. It's not going to be how do you play. It's going to be what if you don't win it?
Yes.
What is the effect? And the players read social media. It's going to be for whoever is going to do the press conference with him. Anybody's going to ask. The question is going to be that question. By the way, how do you guys feel if you don't win this trophy?
11 more games left, Jurgen. How are you feeling?
Is this the trophy to farewell for Jurgen Klopp? The players are going to go to the game thinking that this trophy, they are playing this game for Jurgen Klopp, not for Liverpool. That's a big thing, by the way. That's a big thing. People have to understand that at the end, the media, their job right, is to ask questions that are awkward. And they're going to do this.
Yeah.
They aren't going to leave you alone. They aren't going to leave the players alone. Cup final, it's going to be, I think, it's going to be a disaster, right? If you don't win the cup final for the rest of the Premier League. I think so. There is no other way around it, right? Like, imagine if he loses that game. What are people going to say? Oh, you should have won for Klopp. Oh, it's his last cup final. And people, it's going to be on their head. If it was my club, I'd be like, fuck off. What is this? Why are you announcing it now? Like, Inter are top of the table. Imagine if we announce that Inzaghi's leaving tomorrow.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay.
what is
I
this?
get it.
I've just read that FSG apparently in November offered Jurgen Klopp a new contract, and he turned it down. And then
I
week
thought his
later,
contract already into 2026.
Yeah, they offered him a new contract, an extension to what he's got, and he turned it down. And then a week later, in November, he explained that he wanted to leave. So the club tried to keep him, but he wants to go.
He wants gone. Queen Nadra
Does that change anything for you?
Mo, which coaches beside Klopp play Gegenpressing?
They don't even play Gegenpress no more.
They don't. But I think the coach. Do you want the truth? The coach that actually can help Liverpool is Ange Postecoglou.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, listen. No. He listen. He's not leaving Spurs, and whoever the new guy we get is going to bring a new system, and we'll bring in new players. It'll be different. Like, I do not think that we're going to be playing this style of ball with whoever we bring in, and I don't think that the proper option would be, hey, who can we bring in to replicate Jurgen Klopp, because no one can do Jurgen Klopp as good as Jurgen Klopp, and it's just that simple. I don't want someone to come in and do the Jurgen system. I want someone to come in and bring their system, and I want that system to work with the players we have and the players that we bring in, and that's the best way to move forward, not to try to go back and revolve rather than evolve, if that makes sense.
I think it'll be Alonso. I think it's obvious it's going to be Xabi Alonso.
I think so too, given the fact that the only other position was Real Madrid in my mind, and Ancelotti is staying there for another however many seasons. So it's
requested today as well, and he hasn't said no.
Hold on, so can I ask you something? Would you, if you were to choose, would you choose Andrew or Xabi Alonso?
Well, Ange isn't available, so
if you are to choose
Alonso,
I would rather evolve rather than try to get someone to come in and try to play Jurgen style. You know what I mean? I want something new. I do not want to revert. I want evolution, not revolve.
Dude, Postecoglou doesn't play the same style as Klopp. I mean,
he doesn't.
But
it's
not,
similar.
not even close.
And by the way, Xabi Alonso play kind of similar style, if I'm not mistaken. The way I'm watching them, they're a high energy team. They aren't like they are high energy team. Every player does their job to the T. It's not. I don't think it's like that different.
I think he's the perfect fit, but we're just gonna have to see, especially if he wins the Bundesliga and then he can go out on top.
They play position-based football on the front foot. They create chances. They kind of run a lot on the pitch. Apparently, it's kind of similar. I think he would suit. Pass a lot of times. I think Xabi Alonso would do a very good job at your club.
So do I.
But again, there is a massive difference. I've seen this movie many times. He's doing it at Leverkusen. There wasn't a lot of pressure in the beginning of the season. Comes to Liverpool, you are facing the mighty Manchester City with Pep Guardiola. You come to the Premier League. You know what I mean? Right away, you're replacing Jurgen Klopp. I think it's a massive ask. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if a young manager can do the job. It's a big ask.
We'll cross that bridge when we get there, Mo.
Dude, they made it here now. They are the one who started this, not us.
Oh yeah.
They are the one that announced it today.
I can't
Xabi
argue.
Alonso, not Ancelotti, not Pep Guardiola, not Man City. Liverpool Football Club decided to announce it today.
And I have no idea why, and I can't. And I think that all of your reasons for why they shouldn't have are all valid, and it's all great context. But at the end of the day, we did, and the club made that decision. Jurgen made that decision, and I have to trust them. I have to trust them going forward. Like it's just that simple.
Have you ever trusted FSG?
No, but I have trusted Jurgen, and I know that if you're I know that, but if he announced it, it was his decision in part. It's just that simple. If Jurgen didn't want to announce it right now, they wouldn't have done it. Like Jurgen has been so dominant at this football club, they would have said, you know what, Jurgen, you announce it when you want, all good. But obviously, he said, you know what, now's the right time. So if that's what he feels, I have no option. And plus, the news is out. So like, what am I going to do? Sit here and argue about hypotheticals of what I should have done, this, then, if, but it doesn't matter. This is the reality, and we have to move forward. It's.
I don't think FSG had anything to do with Klopp leaving either. I think
No,
it's just Klopp's own decision. What Liverpool need to do now is name a new manager before the end of the season.
What?
They have to name a new manager before the end of the
So
season.
Zarbi, Richard Barano just tweeted 5 minutes ago that Zarbi may be linked.
I can't stand him. I don't want nowhere near my football club.
What?
Does
I
Zarbi
got
be a good
you.
manager?
Yes. Okay, Fabrizio.
The rumors are going to start flying off the shelves. Okay, like that's another.
Fabrizio doesn't tweet rumors, though.
No, but Fabrizio didn't tweet that he's going to Liverpool. Fabrizio, this is the Fabrizio tweet. He said Roberto De Zerbi on the Liverpool job links after club decision to leave. No news about that. My focus is only on at the end of the season. We want to focus on our targets. So De Zerbi denied any links.
No, he denied. He said all he said was we focus on this season, but Klopp's going to be here for the rest of this season. He's next season. He didn't say anything about next season.
I don't want De Zerbi, but
why? Why do? Okay,
I
so
think
here,
he'd be good.
you're Mike. I'm sorry, with all due respect. Why do you want Xabi Alonso and not De Zerbi?
I like the way that Leverkusen play. I think he's young and he's a club legend. I mean, listen, De Zerbi, could it work? Yeah. I mean, but like at the same time, you know, I'm not even in a position to like fully analyze, you know, exactly which manager I want. It's just that from what I'm seeing at Brighton, you know, I'm not the most convinced that he would be the best possible option. If Brighton were doing better, maybe my mind would be different, but they're not. And they've been very flaky and they've been very on and off. They have not been consistent. So, you know, and
This could do to
Leverkusen,
players though, not the manager.
this is possible, but you know, Leverkusen are at the top of the Bundesliga, and I wouldn't say that they're surrounded with the most world-class talent, or that the talent differential is.
They got better players than Brighton.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say that they have better players than most of the top six. So
Yeah, it's a Bundesliga, right? There's only Bayern Munich, right? I mean, Leverkusen's been up there at the top of the table for a while now, the last few years, right? So I mean,
Listen, but the sample size is too small.
Leipzig.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you something, Will, right? Would you, if this was last season and it was Arteta linked to them, would you say it's the same? Arteta was top of the league until March.
No, Arteta's dog water. So
all right. So why I am not? So why is Xabi Alonso? Yes, he plays very good football, and he probably has the same point tally as Arteta last season. And I'm genuinely asking this question. I have watched Leverkusen sometimes. They play very good football. So did Arsenal last year in the beginning of the season. All the way up to game week 29. Arsenal were very good. Am I wrong? I'm not wrong. So why is the hype about Xabi Alonso but not Arteta last season? This is Liverpool Football Club. After a successful 8 years with Jurgen Klopp, who was up against one of the best managers to ever see, right? So what happened? So why is the same? Why is not the same? Why is Xabi Alonso now good?
I think just Zarbi's got more experience than Alonso, doesn't he?
Did Zerbi has more experience than who?
Xabi Alonso.
Alonso, this is his first job ever. Before that, he was coaching Real Sociedad second team.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Listen, people. This is. I think we'll talk more about Liverpool. There's a couple of super chats before we end on Liverpool and speak about Manchester City and.
I've got to go, Mo.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jamie. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you having me on as always, my man. Guys,
Yeah.
See you later.
Feel better.
You guys don't forget to go and like and subscribe to the channel. I don't know why you're not doing it.
Guys, Jamie Talks Football is there. I'm going to put it in the description, people. Thank you, Jamie, for joining. I appreciate you. Queen Nadra saying, Mo, which coaches beside Klopp? We answered this already. Andrew is saying, I don't trust FSG with replacements. I see us selling our best. Oh my God. No. Okay. I'm going to let Mike answer. Let me finish it. I'm see us selling our best players. Just my opinion. They will turn back into selling club again. Just my opinion. Are you guys seeing the super chat? Why?
This is exactly what I just said. This like when I just said that we're going to have fans who are in their head playing 8,000 different scenarios and not focusing on the next step. This is it. You're going full nuclear.
Why is that not rational? That was the way you were in the past before Jurgen Klopp. That was my point.
You're right, but the thing is that the club that we were in the past is completely different to the club that we are now. Right. So I'm not.
I'm the club you are now because of Jurgen Klopp and the back staff that are leaving.
Yeah, this may be true, but what I see is evolution, right? Like I don't see a regression, right? Especially if you're going to go by this notion that FSG want to sell and they're downsizing, whatever. Why are they going to devalue themselves? Why are they going to lower the value by selling their players and making themselves worse? That doesn't make any sense. If I'm FSG and I'm looking for an exit and Jurgen's leaving, or I don't think they are, right? But I know that someone said that before. I'm going to want to strengthen the value of my club, and ultimately FSG view this club as a business, and they need to strengthen the value of it. I do not think that we're going to go and sell off our best players and go belly up. It
depends on how leveraged the club is, right? If you guys don't have any debt, then it doesn't make sense. There's no reason to. If you do have debt, then liquidating that
we don't.
Makes sense. Businesses do that all the time, right? They downsize, they fire employees, then they sell because they have to reduce the liabilities on the company before they.
Yes, but if Jamie's news is correct and we did offer a new contract in November, then that would suggest that we aren't looking to downsize, and in fact we were looking to extend Jurgen, right? And
sure,
and then in which case, if we were looking to extend Jurgen, that means that we want to stay successful, and if we want to stay successful, then we're not going to go sell our players. And just because Jurgen's leaving, again, this is a business, right? So at the end of the day, it is what it is. It's a terrible hurdle. It sucks that it happened, but ultimately, we will have to get over it and we will have to move on. And I do not think that we are going to sell players and devalue ourselves. We're going to move forward. We're going to bring in a new manager. We're going to continue to evolve. It just makes sense because, if they offer the contract before, that means that they still want to be successful and they still want to win. And we're not just going to change that because Jurgen decides to leave. And he has every right to leave. So it's kind of just how I see it.
To leave is kind of strange a little bit, but fine. Everybody has the right to leave, but people hate that like button. We still have 470 people. Come on, guys. How many likes are we on? Wallahi, you guys are embarrassing us. We're not even on 300 likes. 470 people. Listen, I want to move on from Jurgen Klopp. By the way, we'll talk more about Jurgen Klopp later, but I want to move on to Maddison versus Kevin De Bruyne. If we have Spurs fans in the chat, we have Man City fans. Maddison is back. Kevin De Bruyne is back. Will shift a little bit to that. How important is this?
It's very important. For me, James Maddison was, for the first 10 games of the season before he got injured, the best midfielder in the league at that point, as far as performance is concerned, especially in the attacking side of things. He's been a huge miss for us. He's not Kevin De Bruyne, but he is younger than Kevin De Bruyne, so. But no, I mean, there's no Spurs fan who's going to say that, we're not Arsenal fans. We're not going to say that, James Maddison's Kevin De Bruyne.
Yep.
But no, yeah, it's great to have him back. I think it gives us a hope. It gives us a chance. They do have a hard time scoring at our ground, and James Maddison, even when he played at Leicester, had gotten a few goals against City before. So, it's a possibility. I think we got a shot.
I actually think that you are actually can win the game.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I think you can absolutely win the game. Well, and I'm not saying that just because I think Spurs with James Maddison, you will be all right, people. You won't be like people watching Spurs. You have Van de Ven and Romero in the back. They don't have Erling Haaland. That's a big deal for them. You have James Maddison back, which adds a lot of value to that midfield. I think you have a chance. The problem for me is your forward line. Your front line is weak. They aren't fantastic. They aren't great.
Yeah. Look, I mean, just if James Maddison can put it on a plate for Richarlison, maybe he gets his 8th goal of the season. You know what I mean? Look, we got to just hope and pray for the front line because God knows that they're no good. So you just gotta hope. You gotta hope something happens. Look, Maybe it comes down to, you know, a Romero set piece goal or a Maddison goal or a Bentancur goal or a Poro stunner from outside. All we need is one if we keep them, you know, if the voodoo keeps going on and they can't score at our ground. So I think we got a shot. It's going to be a tough game. Like, I don't think that we're going to go into this game tonight and be like, you know, we're going to boss them and dominate them. Like, if we had our full squad, I'd say, okay, yeah, we can go toe to toe with them. We can play a good game. But now, right now, we're just gonna have to hold in there and hope that we can pull something out.
But I mean, you guys played, you know, fantastic at the Etihad, weaker than you are now, even though Manchester City were also weaker there.
I wouldn't say weaker because we had Sun then and we don't have Sun now.
This is true, but you've brought back Maddison. I definitely think that the front line is a problem, but I think that Maddison's going to be a huge help, and I think that Ange has done an amazing job in terms of the lack of personnel, whether it was through injury or suspension throughout the season, and I don't think it'll be any different coming into this game. I think that he'll be able to manage your side. I think that you guys will be able to go out and put out a competitive performance. Kevin De Bruyne is really the X factor here, whether or not he comes out and puts in a world-class performance and decides to just drop 2 assists and all of a sudden the game is lost. But I think that Tottenham have a very good chance of winning this game, especially how they played at the Etihad. I know that you had Son, but regardless, Ange has proven his ability to adapt and work with the players that he has available to him. And I don't think that this game would be any different. And I also think that it's a very important game for Tottenham, considering that it's the last cup that you have in contention. And while Manchester City, it's like, you know, the FA Cup may be a priority, but at the same time, to them, the ultimate is the Premier League and the Champions League. Whereas to you, it's the FA Cup, because, you know, I know that some people like to have conversations of you guys being in the title race, but like, you know, just being pragmatic, it's not super realistic. So this would be the best opportunity for you to bring home silverware. And I think that that's what's most important to Ange right now. So I definitely wouldn't be pessimistic if I was a Tottenham fan. I would be optimistic. I would be positive, and I would say that I think that you guys have a very good opportunity to win this game today.
This is the first time in a long time for me that I don't think there hasn't been a game this season where I was like, we're getting stomped. I've always been maybe cautious, like it's going to be a tough game. We'll have to see, like a draw. I don't think I've predicted a loss for us. I might have against City the first time around because of the results before that, right? We had lost 2 in a row before that, plus the Chelsea game. So I guess it was 3 in a row. So yeah, I mean, no, I'm optimistic. I think we have a chance. It's just going to depend on, one, how many minutes does Maddison get? Does he start, right? You know, just coming back from injury, first time on. Does he only stay on the pitch for 60 minutes? How much energy has he been working on in training before he comes out? And then 2, you know, does he slot right back in? I think he does. I think he's an old enough and a wise enough player that being out for this long isn't going to drop his form or who he is as a footballer, because it's not the first time that he's had a lengthy injury, right? So, yeah, I'm optimistic about it. It's just a matter of where the goal's coming from, right? So, that's the only, like, if we had Heung-min Son,
would you like? So the question to you, and this question for everybody in the chat as well, if people want to get involved, would you like to see Ange change a little bit the style of play, drop a little bit, play a little bit more defensively against the City team, or you are okay with him leaving spaces for Man City?
Without Erling Haaland, I'm not as concerned because
really,
yeah,
they have Kevin De Bruyne, they have Foden, they have Julian Alvarez, they have Doku, they have a lot of players.
Yeah, but De Bruyne's not going to be busting lines and being on the ends of balls. He's going to be the one playing those balls, right? So, and Van der Ven for me and Romero, I think, can sweep up pretty good. Look, for me, I don't want to change it too much, maybe a little bit. I don't want to see him, like, he in his press conference, he kind of came out and said, look, you gotta adjust, you gotta, you know, do some things. And he said every manager changes a little bit from game to game to game, depending on who you're playing and what the opposition has and who you have available. But I'd really like to see him stick to his guns for the most part. And then if things start to get, I'd rather see him adjust in the game than adjust before the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah. How do you see City? Do you guys think City will start a strong 11 this game?
Yeah, there's no reason not to. They don't have another league.
They have a game on Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
Yeah. Now, like, to be honest with you, like, I'm looking at this game from a a neutral perspective, I can't wait to watch the game. I have this thing that I think that this will be a draw, but a high scoring draw. Spurs keep saying we have to play our game, we have to do our style, we have to not change for anybody else, and I appreciate that from Spurs perspective. Like, if you're a Spurs fan, you'll have to say that. But also, Mike, do you think that they have to adapt a little bit to
Yes.
to Man City? Do you think they need to change a little bit the way they play?
Yes. And to kind of to provide some context, City's next game is against Burnley, right? And so ultimately, if I were looking at this from a squad rotation perspective, I would say go stronger today and then use the rotational squad against Burnley, because the Burnley game isn't going to be even nearly as competitive. It doesn't matter if it's home or away. Burnley is Burnley. So, given the fact that City are going to come out very strong, in my opinion, I think that the lack of the front line, as Will said, would basically mean that you need to be sitting back deeper and almost kind of playing counter ball, which I think ultimately is what you guys did in the first half at the Etihad anyway. And that's when you were creating the most space, is on the counterattacks. And I think that that's where City is their most vulnerable throughout the entire season. Teams have been able to slice through their midfield in transition. It's just a matter of having the quality up front. Now, can Richarlison put the ball in the back of the net? I don't know. But personally, I think that that's the best way to approach this game. And, prior, I know that, Jacob said this, but like in the past, when City haven't scored, when you were playing, you were sitting back and you were sitting deep, right? Like you were playing defensive football and you were playing on the counter, and that's how you were beating City at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If you were to kind of change that, I think that that's going to bring in new questions, but I think that the sit back counter ball is the best option to winning this game. It's the highest percentage, but knowing Ange, I don't know if he's going to totally change up the way he plays, just kind of because he's been stubborn and adamant and hasn't changed in the past. So it is the smart decision, but do I think that that's going to be the decision? I don't know. But if it were me,
what would you
this is the
say
first time we've
if you-
seen Bentancur and Maddison together too, by the way. So
Yeah, big up Michael, of course, in the chat. Big up Michael. Big up Michael. Wanted to invite you, but I know you were busy. But I wanted to ask a question to both of you and the people in the chat. What if he sticks to his guns and win the game?
it'll be great.
all credit to him. Massive.
Does that change the conversation about him at all? About, oh, you have to adapt, you have to change.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Like if he comes out and goes toe to toe with Manchester City and we beat them, people are the hype is just going to pick up, right? Hassam's going to hate his life at that point, right? I mean, he
actually wants you to win, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah, I'm sure he wants us to win, but there's difference between
he wants them to win because he doesn't want
City
City to win another triple.
Yeah, exactly.
If City get out of that cup, the triple is off the table. What are you talking
but
about?
I mean but that's what I'm saying, right? Like he may want it, but in the end, it makes all of his talking points under pressure, right? Under heat.
Maybe. So. I think that if you were to go toe to toe and you were to beat City, I think that it'll be a massive confidence boost. Now, I would have to see that consistently throughout the rest of the top six to make this allegation that Ange doesn't have to change his style of play to anyone. I think that that's kind of taking it a little bit too far, but it'll definitely be a very strong show of force, and I think it'll kind of prove to at least all the doubters that Ange knows exactly what he's doing, and it's time to stop talking shit for no reason. If he does it, all the credit to him. I'm not really, Spurs aren't on the top of my list. I don't play them until May. But I would love to see that just as are you sure? I thought it was in,
not a big deal.
Yeah. I just know that it's towards the end of the season. It's one of our final games. And yeah, I think it would be good for football, and I want to see Spurs win. So whatever it takes, I'm happy to back that. And yeah, I mean, if anyone could do it with a weakened squad, I think that Ange has proved it this season. So
yeah, 100%. Listen, people, this has been absolutely a fantastic show. Tonight, after the game, we'll have Will again with Hamza and Ziad to talk about the games, the FA Cup games. Absolutely will be brilliant. Thank you for everybody that supported the channel. Stay on the stream. Don't go anywhere. It will take you to Hussam where he sees a meltdown. I can't wait to watch Hussam and the meltdown. Constantinius, Hosencio, of course, Felix, Philip, Queen Nadra, Tomba Lion, Tyler Jones. These are the big XY, True Blue Clay supporting the channel. Honesty Hortensia. These are the people support. Samuel L supporting the channel, and Andrew Wright. Everybody that is supporting Footy Judge Mo, guys. We're waking up early to do shows for you. We're trying to bring you good shows. So you supporting the channel is a massive deal. Of course, tonight it's not going to be about Jurgen Klopp. It's going to be about Ange versus Pep. It's going to be about Maddison versus KDB. I can't wait for this because I can't wait to watch Maddison again. I love Maddison.
I'm looking forward to seeing Maddison and Bentancur play together because that hasn't happened yet. People don't remember. He didn't come back till after Chelsea and Maddison got injured in Chelsea.
I actually remember that. He didn't play with him at all. We'll see how it is. The problem is going to be Oliver Skipper Højbjerg. That's going to be absolutely atrocious. And we'll see how it works.
I hope it's Kulusevski. I hope it's Maddison, Kulusevski, Bentancur.
It cannot happen. You don't have a DM there to defend.
Bentancur can play DM.
He's more than advanced. But listen, we'll see. We'll see the lineup. We're only some hours away. But people, Mike Das, legend for joining. Absolutely. I really appreciate Mike Das's opinions, of course, on all the clubs. Will Stewart, of course, from Tottenham away. Absolutely brilliant. Of course. And of course, Jamie Phillips. I'm going to put the channels in the description, people. And thank you so much for everybody that watched. Hit that like button. You can get us to 350 and stay on the stream. We'll take you to Hossam's stream. Everybody here, I want you to go to Hossam's stream and say Judge Mo Raid on Hossam's stream. Please do that. And we'll
everybody
see you
guys spam cry emojis.
Cry emojis, Judge Mo Raid. Yeah. Yes.
Not
cry
yet.
Emojis.
Not
cry
yet.
Emojis.
Not yet.
Cry emojis, people.
We're
Cry
still top of the
emojis.
league. We're still top of the league. Don't you forget it. Don't try to do some marketing spin. Oh, Liverpool are in the gutter now. No, sir.
Cry
More
emojis
trophies.
because Klopp's leaving, not because you're not where you want.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We'll see you guys. We're out of here.